Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on machine learning. What we have learned so far, what we have done, uh, what we have discussed, I'm sorry, is machine learning using supervised machine learning. We have done classification, and now we're doing regression. The main difference is that the variable of interest, whatever you're modeling for classification, is a categorical variable. On the other hand, if it's a regression, your variable of interest is a numerical variable. So what did we do last time? We used this code chunk in order to load our packages. Make sure your packages are already loaded. Okay. And then we defined our start date and end date. Here, what we did was to download the assets from Yahoo Finance. We're using get symbols. So here we created an object called symbol FX, which represents your US dollar, US dollar, Philippine peso exchange rate. Okay. And then we run this, get symbols, and then try catch the message. This resulted into this. And it told us that it informed us that there are 3 missing values as far as this USD PHP data is concerned. We did the same for VIX, volatility index, and then we got this 92 missing values. And for the simple sa Brent crude oil prices, there are 2 missing values. Okay, are you with me so far, class? Kindly please in the chat box, please inform me if you're with me. Just make sure that those objects, as the PHP, VIX, and Brent, are all loaded to your environment. Waiting for your confirmation, class. Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, I hope the others are able to follow, class. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so let's continue. And what we did last time was this is just a repeat of what we did above. We said that VIX contains 92 missing values, right? And we cannot really perform even statistical metrics class, even the mean, the median, the mode, standard deviation class. These are basic statistical metrics. We can't even do that if there's a missing value. Okay, so we have to deal with the missing value. And we said last time that there are many ways to do imputation. Imputation is the process of filling in the missing value. You can do median. You can replace all the missing values with the median. You can replace all the missing values with the mean. There are advantages and disadvantages. For time series data class, and if you're dealing with prices, take note, I said prices, not returns. No? If you're dealing with prices, then it's best if there are missing values, and if we see that if it's warranted to do the LOCF, then let's do that. The LOCF is the last observation carried forward. It's also called the forward fill. So when you have a missing data, suppose there's no price today. Now you don't you don't immediately just delete that data. Okay, you don't delete it because it might affect your analysis. So if there's a way in order to impute correctly, a manner that's acceptable, then we should do so. So LOCF class is good for stock prices. Let's say there's a missing value on a Tuesday, and then there's a value on a Monday. What we can do is we can forward fill. When you say forward fill, you get the value from the previous day, and then use that to impute on the value of the missing date. Okay, that's LOCF or forward fill. So if you check if there are any missing values now, if you did forward fill, then that means, class, that that function already filled up the missing values. If there's a missing value on the first day, then doing the sum is NA class will still produce one missing value, because the first day missing value cannot be filled up by LOCF because there's no prior value. Okay, I just hope you understand that. So in that case, let's say you did not check if there's a missing value on the first day, then you did LOCF, then that means there will still be one missing value. So what can you do with that? Then you can do NA.omit. It's a combination of LOCF and NA.omit. All right. So here, class, I hope you have already checked if your VIX is already loaded. So here we can make use of the zoo from the zoo package NA.locf. So if I run this class, so the former VIX class, ito may mga missing values yung VIX. Sorry, what happened? Yung punta kay VIX, dapat VIX LOCF, no? May VIX LOCF ba ako dito? Ito to, class, this one, here. So VIX LOCF, wala na siyang missing value. Si VIX kasi, class, di ba may mga NA siya. So if you're going to do LOCF, this NA will be replaced by 20.95. Now, since the first day does not have any missing value, then what can happen is that magkaka-NA tayo dito, no? Magkaka-NA tayo. So we can just omit that. Okay, so all right, then we did some structured query language. We're not going to run this so much. Ito lang yung una, no? When we do merge, class, and you say all is equal to true, what will happen is that all the dates, since ang basis nila pag merge, XTS objects to, si USD, PHP, VIX, at saka Brent. So ang common sa kanila yung date. So it will include all the dates, no? So let me just quickly explain that as by way of review. Brent class has, I think, ilan? 2516 ang data niya. If you check, class, si Brent, please correct me if I'm wrong, 2516. Si VIX has 2607. Tama ba? Pakicheck, class, ha? And then si USD PHP has 2609. Can you check, please? 2607, 2609. Okay. So if you do merge, class, then all is equal to true. The minimum number of observations will be 2609. Ito. 2609. And this will happen if all the dates in Brent and all the dates in VIX are present in USD PHP. So let's say lahat ng dates kay Brent, lahat ng dates kay VIX, nandito kay USD PHP, then the merge data will have 2609. Kasi sabi natin all is equal to true, include all data coming from all the dates. But if there are dates that are present in Brent that are not present in USD PHP, then the merged data will have more observations. Kasi kailangan ipasok mo rin, class, yung yung date na coming from Brent and date coming from VIX, which are not part of your which are not in USD PHP. Why are we basing it on USD PHP? Because USD PHP has the highest number of observations. If it was Brent, class, kunyari 2716 to, then si Brent ang magiging basis natin. Okay? All right. So we did that last time, but I just want us to run this class. Merge union. Tapos ito naman, class, merge prices is just like, sabi natin, class, yung SQL kasi, structured query language, it's just joining data, joining tables, joining data frames. Okay, so kapag left join, pag left join, ang magpe-prevail class, ang masusunod yung nasa left na data. Kapag right join, yung nasa right na data. Kapag inner join, yung common sa lahat. So let's run this. Okay. So you can take C class 2915 yung merge union. Okay, it means class na there are dates that are present in Brent and in possibly VIX also that's not present in Union. So sinama siya. Sinama yung mga dates yun. Okay, 2915. Inner rows naman class, ito yung merge prices. NA.omit ng merge union class, it means it will delete all the data that has a missing value. Okay? So ito class, lahat ng ano to, lahat ng data available. Okay, so there are only 2214. So the retention is 76%, which is 2214 out of the 2915. Okay? So ito, kinuha lang natin class. Ito, I will not run some of this class kasi na-discuss natin to. Here, kinuha lang natin yung NA ni VIX. Tapos, kinumpare natin class yung kinuha natin class ilang columns yung NA when we did full join nito. Ito yung 29 di ba? 2915 class. So ilan yung mga missing value doon? So kay USD PHP may 309, 400, 401. Okay? All right. Then I'll leave you class to review this. Pareho lang naman siya ng dati, no? So dito pupunta na tayo dito sa ito yung pinaka-importante sa atin here. Let's go here now, class. So this is just a review of the merge, no? Merge union, merge USD PHP VIX Brent all is equal to true. Let's run this again, class. Merge union at merge prices. And take note, these are the XTS objects, no? So ito yung 2915 at 2214. These are XTS objects. So what do we do now? Now notice class, nag-clean muna tayo ng data natin bago tayo pumunta sa pag-compute ng returns. Okay, because we cannot do LOCF when we're dealing with the returns already. So sa simula pa lang, clean data na kaagad, no? Make sure that we clean the data before we even do some what we call feature engineering, which I'm going to explain in a while. All right, so yung merge prices natin, class, okay, which is just wala na siyang NA, di ba? Kasi lahat doon ng mga dates, class, meron lahat. Okay. I think we started with this last time. We now go to the returns. Kasi class, ang imo-model natin yung returns, not the prices. So we're using the daily return function. Yung daily return function, class, it will give us, yung first row, gagawin niyang 0, 0, 0, 0. If you recall, di ba? Yung iba, class, di ba, yung pag naglalag returns tayo, class, di ba? Pag naglalag-log tayo ng yung asset natin divided by the log of the asset. Diba? Ang mangyayari, class, yung first observation, yung pinakauna, nagiging NA. Pero pag daily return, class, ang ginagamit natin, ina-assume na niya na 0 yun. Which, to a certain degree, is wrong, no? Kasi hindi naman talaga 0 yung return nun eh. But anyway, let's just use this. So we're computing here the returns. Returns ni USD PHP, returns ni VIX, at saka return ni Brent. Log returns to. And then here, class, we're creating this object called target. Okay. We're using the log.xts object, the function. Ang kinukuha natin, class, yung log ni ret. K is equal to 1. Pag K is equal to 1, class, ibig sabihin nun, yung returns natin, mag-move back. So yung returns ko ngayon, dito sa target, class, dito sa target, magkakaroon ng isang ang mangyayari dyan, yung return ngayon, magiging mawawala, no? Mawawala. K is equal to 1 means yung return ko sana ngayon dapat galing sa yesterday. Eh since wala yung yesterday class, okay? So magiging NA ako. Yung return kahapon class magiging yung return ko ngayon. Okay? So you're logging, ibig sabihin babalik ng 1. We'll explain in a while why this is very important. Okay. So click na natin returns, no? Returns. Okay, so check natin quickly. For example, si USD PHP. USD PHP ret ito. Yan. Okay. So all in all 2214 observations. Notice yung first line, di ba? Sa last, yung sa last class, sorry, yung sa latest may value, yung sa last class naglagay si daily return ng 0. Okay, pero technically if you use the formula dapat NA yan. Okay? Okay. So si target class, ano laman ni target? Tingnan natin. What's inside target? So separate na variable siya, separate na object. Target, ano ba si target? Vector ba siya? Hindi. Where's target? Ay, wait ha. Nandito target. XTS. Log siya ni USD PHP. Okay? K is equal to 1. Okay. So, andun pa rin siya sa ano? Andun pa rin siya sa USD. Dapat may target. Ato, sorry. Hindi ko nakita. Kasi nag-create tayo ng target, di ba? So, dapat may target. So, tingnan natin to class. Target. Alright. What happened here? O, tingnan nyo class. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung returns ko ngayon, mapupunta ka kay ano, yung sa kahapon. K is equal to -1 class. Bali, mag-move back tayo. Okay? Tapos, wala ako. Kasi hindi naman kasama yung data ng the following day. Okay, so NA ako. Okay? Alright, so that's just a quick review. Now, punta na tayo dito, class. Here. Anong ginawa dito? Nag-create ng object na final XTS. Gagamitin kasi natin ito mamaya. No? XTS object to. Tapos, i-omit natin yung ito class. Yung minerge ni USD, VIX, Brent, at saka sinama si target class. Sinama si target. So this time, meron na tayong additional na na column, yung target na class. Okay, where's my glasses now? Okay, and then palitan yung column names ng final XS natin, USD, PHP ret, VIX ret, ginawa lang capital, Brent ret, at saka target. And then i-check natin kung may missing values dito sa final XTS, and then how many rows. When you run this class, it tells you there are no missing values, and then there are 20 to 13 rows of observation, yung final XTS, this one. Which is also an XTS object, kasi XTS to. XTS. So pag minerge natin yan, XTS object din yan. Check nga class, final XTS here. Yan, an XTS object. Okay. So now, class, nag-create tayo ng final XTS. Mag-create din tayo ng final table naman, data frame. Okay, so if you take a look at this class, data frame, no? From final XTS, i-extract natin yung date from the index. Ba? If you recall class, pag XCS object, yung date class index yan. So we can extract that and create a column called date. Kasi ito data frame, di ba? So you define ano yung column name, ano yung data. Ando dun. So dito, I'm defining a column called date and it's equal to yung index ni final XCS. Tapos yung core data naman class, yung pinaka-body ng data natin. And it's equal to final XCS. Ano yung final XCS natin? Here, no? Ang laman niya, USD ret, VIX ret, etc. Plus yung target. No? Kasi sa final XCS, sinama yung target. Ito. Okay. Alright, so run natin to class. Tingnan nyo ha. Run natin to. And now you have, what do you see? Okay. 2213 rows din. Ito yung concatenate niyan. Tapos ito yung head. You notice now that the date class, ano to, 6 by 5, no? 6 rows by 5 columns. Ano yung mga 5 columns natin? Date, USD, VIX, Brent, at saka target. Okay, may 5 columns, no? 5 columns na. Yung date kasama na sa ano, sa column, wala na siya dun sa index. Now, why do we do that class? Kasi pag machine learning, okay, mas maganda na ang gagamitin natin table or data frame. Kasi mahirap i-machine learning kapag naka-XTS yung data. Okay? Naka-follow, class? Are you able to follow? Kindly comment, please, in the chat box. I'd like to know if you're able to follow along, or do you want me to repeat a particular portion? Tatlo pa lang. How about the others, please? Okay. Let's see, ilan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I hope the others are able to follow, class. Huh? Okay. Ilang class. Huh? Okay. All right. So let's now go here, class. Step feature engineering. What is feature engineering, class? In machine learning, yung independent variables are called features. Okay, di ba sa regression natin, ang independent variable is called pwedeng predictors, pwedeng explanatory variable. Sa machine learning, pag nagre-regression tayo, the independent variables or the variables that explain your variable of interest, they're called features. So ngayon class, mag-feature engineering tayo. Ano yung feature engineering? What's feature engineering? Yung mga independent variables natin are not given. So, i-construct natin siya, class. So that's what we're going to do now. Feature engineering is creating your set of independent variables. So gagamitin natin yung data from returns at saka data from ano ba yung mga data natin? Yung final X, yung merge, yung prices pala. Prices at saka yung returns. Doon natin kukunin yung data natin. Prices and returns. Okay. So, ito class, ito yung mga gagawin natin. Gagamitin natin class, for example, yung movements ni, ang ipapredict natin class si USD PHP. Okay? Kukunin natin mga lag returns niya para makuha natin momentum. Kukunin din natin yung trend. Pag trend class, ang maganda dyan, moving averages. Pag momentum extreme, si RSI. Pag volatility, si rolling standard deviation or Bollinger Bands. So, You have several metrics class that we can use in order to predict your variable of interest, which is yung returns natin. Okay? So we're going to use, for most part, we're going to use the TTR package kasi ando doon class uh, yung mga technical analysis metrics, no? Katulad ng RSI, Bollinger Bands, na kay TTR. So that's what we're going to use. Okay, so please load muna yung mga packages na kailangan natin. Although na-load na natin sa taas yan, TTR, Quant Mode, Zoo. For those of you who just came in, kailangan ma-load nyo to. Okay, and then, okay, here class, no? And I don't want, I cannot underscore this. Kasi yung mga, yung mga trading metrics class, yung mga technical trading metrics natin, gagamit ng mga, ng mga absolutes, no? Ng mga values. So we don't want to put in the code yung number, no? So we're going to create a representation out of it. So that later on, kunyari, yung lagmax class, gagawin yung papalitan nyo, gagawin yung 5 yan. You don't have to look for the codes where lagmax, lagmax is presented. In fact, pwede mong i-command dyan na lahat ng mga codes after, i-run din niya. Pwede yun. Okay, there are many functionalities dyan sa our pati yung nakalimutan ko yun. Nako. Sa RStudio pala. I was thinking of RPosit, no? Kasi lumang name yung RStudio. Okay, so run natin to class para makreate natin to mga objects na to. These are of course vectors. Unit vectors, isa lang laman niya. Okay, run natin. So just remember, ang lagmax natin, 3. tatlong days to, no? SMA short, mamaya explain ko to, SMA long, RSI, etc. Yung mga variables na kailangan natin for our codes, we wrote it here. No? And then as we go along, explain ko sa inyo. Okay, so ito na yung mga nating class. Just to be sure that existing merge prices, no? Kasi gagamitin natin. Landan natin to. Sabi dito, if it exists, then stop. If it does not exist, then stop. Then magbigay ng message na merge prices not found. Make sure you run the complete set step 1. Tapos ito, rinan na lang natin ulit, no? Ito. Ito yung step 1, di ba, class? Ito. 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 Sorry. Ito pala. Ito. Hindi yan. Yung merge prices. Nasaan yan? Nawala. The one I just ran a while ago. Merge prices. Nawala. Anyway, kanina sinabi ko, di ba, make sure that the merge prices are run, di ba? Okay, so double check nyo lang class yung merge prices, what's inside merge prices. Kasi this will be prominent sa discussion natin. Merge prices, ito. XTS siya, no? Ang laman niya class ito. XTS, so yung index ano dito. So, price ni USD, price ni VIX, price ni Brent. Okay. Merge prices yun. Okay. Okay, so okay na si merge prices. And then here class, we're going to create another object called data for features for feeds na lang. No? Kapareho siya ni final table. That is to preserve yung final table class. So ang i-modify natin si data for feeds. Asan na ba si final table? Glasses ko, hindi ko makita yung Okay, meron tayong final XTS. Asan na yung final table natin? Run ko na lang. Final TBL. 2213, 5 variables. Okay, yan, no? Andyan si date, USD PHP ret, VIX, Brent, at saka si target class, no? Okay, if you take a look class, target, yung K is equal to 1 yan kanina, di ba? Tapos, nawala yung missing value kasi tinanggal natin yung missing value. Kaya nga naging 2213 siya. Di ba yung itong USD PHP VIX 2214? Eh nung nag-target tayo, di ba yung return, minove back natin. So what happened was, wala nang return sa latest data, no? Yung 1230 yata yon. So nag-NA.umit tayo, nawala na siya. Kaya naging 2213 na to from 2214. Okay, I hope you got that, class. Okay, where am I? Okay. So data forfeits. So data forfeits is exactly the same as final table. No? They're both table. They're both data frames. Okay, they have the same content. Bakit natin rin si data forfeits? Para ma-preserve si final table in case kailangan natin siya mamaya. No? Kasi itong data forfeits, we will populate this by variables that we will create in the feature engineering part. Okay, so first let's take a look at the log USD PHP. Ano to, class? Ang mangyayari dito, okay, let me just okay. Ito na lang, no? Ito, class. Okay, what will happen here, class, is that suppose we're predicting this one. Predict natin to si USD PHP ret. Now, ang gagawin natin, class, gagamitin din natin si USD PHP ret in order to predict itself. That's what you call autoregressive. Autoregressive yung class kasi you are modifying or you are predicting. Okay, sandali. Asan na yung annotate. Wait. Dali lang, ha? Diyan nag-ano tong ko, itong saan ako? Nasaan yung annotate ko here? Annotate, okay. Here. Yan. Saan yung Yun. Nawala yung sa Zoom. Annotate, okay. Alright. So, dear class, no? We're predicting USD PHP. Ang tanong, class, ano yung mga predictors natin? Isa sa predictor natin na gagamitin natin is yung log1 ni USD PHP. Okay? What does that mean, class? Gagamitin natin yung data itself. Kaya nga, ang tawag dyan sa ganyang class, kapag yung ginagamit natin yung data itself is autoregressive model. This will be an autoregressive model kasi ginagamit natin mismo yung data, yung past data ni USD PHP. So what will happen, class? Okay. In order for us to predict itong data na to, class, kunyari ito. Hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung value niya, class mismo. Ang pwede natin gamitin, class, yung which one, class? Yung prior value niya, ito. So ito ilalagay natin dito. 2.342. Why so? Because I'm now going to create an object, ito. Susunod ito, negative 2.019. Okay? In order to predict this one. So ano ginagawa natin? We are using the past values of your time series in order to predict their current value, class. Okay, log 1 yan. Kung log 2. Pag log 2, class, what will happen? So NA to yung una, no? Log 2, dalawa yung magiging NA. Kasi mangyari niyan, class, this one will move 2 places. Pumunta siya dito, di ba? Tapos next, pumunta siya dito. Yan, 2 point something yan. And then, pag log 3, class, tatlong skips, no? So, yung ginagawa natin, class, we're looking at the log values because we would want to predict yung log returns natin making use of its past value. Okay? Of course, mali, class, na pinipredict mo to. It's wrong to use this value. Why, class? Why? Kasi, sorry, not that one, but this one. No? Kasi ang pinipredict natin USD PHP. So if we're trying to predict this one, class, hindi pa pwede, class, ang gagamitin natin itong ahead. No? Hindi pa pwede kasi magkakaroon tayo ng look ahead bias. Alam na natin nangyari sa susunod. Yun ang problem. So parang sinabi mo na, yes, nangyari, I'm going to predict today. Let's say I'm able to do time travel. So babalik ako sa kahapon. Tapos sasabihin ko, I'm going to predict the price of, let's say SpaceX. I'm going to predict the price of SpaceX for tomorrow. No? Kaso, nakita mo na yung bukas, di ba? Nakita mo na siya. Okay, so I hope that's clear, class. So hindi natin pwedeng gawin yung value na alam na natin. What by alam na natin, ibig sabihin natin, class, na let me rephrase that. As far as this data is concerned, class, pag ginamit natin to, okay, pag ginamit natin yung data na yan, what happens? It's using its past data. No? It's using its past data, log 1. So we're calling this autoregressive. Okay, so sige, gawin na muna natin, class, for you to appreciate it better. Baka hindi sufficient yung pag-explain ko. Okay. Wala. Okay. So maglalag tayo, no? Okay, take a look at this, class. For K in 1 up to logmax. Ano yung logmax, class? Sa taas. 3 yan, class, 3. So, if for example, you want to change the value, doon ka pumunta sa logmax sa taas, ilagay mo kunyari 5. Tapos iraran mo lahat ng pababa para mararan din, class, yung mga pag rinan mo to, class, magre-reflect na yung 5 yan. Kasi binalikan mo yung 5 dun sa taas. Okay, so for log K in 1 up to logmax up to 3, ano daw gagawin? Magkakreate siya ng object na log call Tapos, kukunin niya yung log. Anong log ang kukunin niya? Yung data for fits, yung ginawa natin kanina. And then, in particular, yung USD PHP ret. And then K, class K, itong K na to. So K is a range. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So magkakreate siya ng log call. Na tatlo yun. Isa sa 1, isa sa 2, isa sa 3. And then, yung create niya na tatlo, class, papalitan natin yung column name niya. Pagawin natin PSD ret underscore log, then i-append yung sama yung K. Log 1 ba, log 2, log 3. Okay? So, ano mangyayari? Isasama siya sa data for fits, no? Ano isasama? Kukunin yung column name. This one. Ito yung column name natin, di ba? USD PHP ret log 1, log 2, log 3. So tatlong columns ang class ang madadagdag, no? Okay, tatlong columns coming from log call. Yung log call kasi class, iyan yun eh. Tatlong columns din yan, di ba? Tatlong data 1 for log 1, for log 2, for log 3. So i-run natin class, run. Okay. Now, si data for fits class, pareho siya ng ano, di ba? Ilang column siya. Mababago na dito eh. Kanina class yung data for fits, 5 yung laman. Data frame yan na consisting of the date, return ni USD PHP, return ni VIX, at saka return ni Brent, no? Plus the target. Ngayon, class, ano nangyari sa kanya? Tingnan natin. Data for fits. Take a look, class. Naging 8 na. Nadagdagan na ng ito. Take note, ano nadagdag, class? Okay, log 1. So ito, pupunta dito, di ba? Magkaka-NA dito. Kasi wala tayong prior value, di ba? Now, for log 2 class, yun, nakalagay log 1, log 1, log 2, log 3. Dalawang skip class, no? For 1, for 2, tapos dito pupunta yung itong value na to. Yan. Tapos ito naman, no? So parang ano lang siya class. Ang ginagawa natin, yung mga returns natin, fino-forward natin. Okay? Tapos itong log 3 class, so, di ba? Tatlong dates yung in-skip. Okay. So if we're going to predict class, if you're going to predict USD PHP, ang mangyayari niyan class, sabihin natin yan lang yung gagamitin natin, ano? Ang mangyayari dyan class is matatanggal yung mga NA muna, no? Yung mga NA matatanggal. So ito na lang hanggang sa pababa. Mangyayari class, ito yung data natin. Kasi mga NA natin yung mga missing, no? Okay, so let's continue class. Clear tayo so far yung sa log class. So we're going to make use of the log 1, log 2, log 3 para i-predict si US return. So that's perfectly fine class. Kasi autoregressive yan, ginagamit natin yung past values in order to model your dependent variable. Okay, so ano muna ako class? Chat muna. Paki-feedback please class kung naintindihan. So far yung data for features natin, ito ano, nadagdagan ng 3 columns. Feedback please class. And by the way, of course, sa ilalim class, close ko muna to. Ano nangyari class dito? Log 1 class. So itong log dito, napunta dito. Okay? So I hope you notice class na ito, nawala to. Kasi nag-forward sila lahat eh. Yung value na to napunta dito. And then yung next naman napunta na dito. Yung next yung pointer napunta dito. And then nawala to mga to. Okay, so thank you so much for your feedback. Okay, good. All right, so let's continue class. Punta naman tayo sa ibang features na gagamitin natin. No? Okay, isang very famous common feature class is SMA or EMA. Magkaiba yun, ano? Magkaiba sila in how it is computed. So SMA class is simple moving average. EMA is exponential moving average. We'll deal with that later. So SMA muna tayo class. What is SMA? Kunyari SMA 5, SMA 10, ano ginagawa doon? What do we do with that class? Ang ginagawa doon class is we get the prices. For example, SMA 5. Si SMA 5, you get the first 5 prices. You get the previous 4 plus yung price mo ngayon. No? Okay, and then you get the average. And then you move on to the next sa next data. It will be the next 5. Next 5 na next 5, next 5 lang. Kung 10 naman, so 10 yung kukunin mo average. Doon sa 10, doon ilalagay yung average. No? Tapos move ka ng move hanggang matapos dun sa hanggang dulo ng data. Okay. So anong purpose ng SMA? Si SMA class, ini-smooth out niya yung data. Tinatanggal niya yung mga spikes, yung mga volatility. And kapag longer yung SMA natin, mas nagiging mas nagiging smooth. Okay, so let's see yung SMA 5 natin at saka SMA 10. Anong gamit nito class? Ang gamit ng SMA class is used for trading, for example. It sends a signal, for example, if the current price is above both SMAs, the model might predict a positive returns, uptrend. Okay? Pataas siya. Pag yung current price natin, mas mataas pa kaysa SMA 5 or even SMA 10. Okay, uptrend ang continuation nun. On the other hand, pag baliktad naman, then downtrend. So the strategy, of course, of the investor will change depending on the metric that it's going to use. Kunyari itong SMA, and then pag mataas yung current over the SMA's conclusion, upward trend. So, hindi magandang hold on to it, no? Hold on to it yung stock na yun kasi pataas pa siya eh. On the other hand, pag yung price naman, current price, mas mababa kaysa SMA 5 or SMA 10, okay, then bearish yun class. So can be a sell advice. Okay. Anyway, so tingnan natin to class. Ito yung code to run that. So we're creating this object SMA short XTS. And then ginagamit natin si TTR class kailangan yan XTS object yan. No? Kaya hindi natin pwedeng magamit si table, no? So SMA yung function. Ano pinapakuha natin class sa SMA? Yung sa prices, merge prices, and then in particular yung the USD PHP. And then N is equal to, ayun, yung kanina doon, yung short, di ba? Yung short is 5. And the other one is long. Okay, so the advantage of doing it this way is that pag gusto mong palitan yung short mamaya, so gawin mong 8 for example, just have to change that. Hindi yung kada code na ginamitan mo ng hard coding. Okay? All right, let's run this class. Okay, ano nangyari ngayon? SMA short XTS. Okay, this one class. SMA short XTS. Let's run. Alright, tingnan nyo class. Long pala ito na ano ko. Yung long class, tingnan nyo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Diba? 10, diba? Tinanggal niya yung 10 observations, kasama yung sa kanya, pinalitan niya ng average ng 10. Kasama siya. Ganon din class si short. Si short naman, ito, 5 days lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? On the 5th class. Now, it can be easily shown, class. Okay, pakita lang natin kahit ito lang, kung tama ba yung ano natin. I'll just click this. So, galing to sa sa merged prices. Kunin natin class yung mean. The merged prices. Asan si merged? Sorry. Underscore. Yan, merged prices class. Okay? In particular, yung dollar, yung USD PHP. No? So, kinukuha natin class yung merged prices, yung mean. Tapos i-subset lang natin class yung lang, yung 1 to 5 lang. First 5 observations, yan. And then we close. Tignan yung class, di ba? Kukunin lang natin yung average ng merged prices na from 1 up to 5. Control Enter. 4, 4, 8, 5, 3, 6 yan. Tama. Okay, if you want class, tingnan naman natin. Ito yung susunod class, yung 4, 4, 8, 7, 2, 6. Yung next 5 to. Ibig sabihin from 2 to 6. From 2 to 6. Kunin yung prices, i-average niya. Okay, tapos palitan niya yung sarili niya. Control Enter. 448726 yan. 448726. So, pareho, no? Pareho. So, kung tingnan natin class, i-plot natin. Plot. Si ano to? SMA short underscore XTS. Take a look at the plot of this. Ba? Yun. Marami siyang marami pa siyang ticks, no? Marami siyang ups and downs. If I make it class, yung long naman, you'll notice na si long class, medyo mas, tinay lang to Ayan, di ba sino mas smooth? Ayan, di ba mas smooth si long. A while ago, ang ginawa namin, sinubukan namin na, sabi namin na day at minus, 90 days, no? 90 days. Tapos kunin natin class, kunin natin yung this one. Ito. Kunin natin yung here. Yung SMA ni ito. Kunin nyo to. Lagyan natin ng pangalan class. Control C. Okay. Tapos n is equal to day. Day yung pangalan ito. Gawin natin SMA day 90. O, day 120 na lang. Day 120. 120 days class. Ibig sabihin, you take the 120 days, average mo siya, no? SMA day 120, XTS. Okay. 120 days. Sara natin to. Control Enter. Okay, and then i-plot nyo class. Plot. Control C. Just wanted to illustrate class what SMA does. Or for that matter, any smooth moving average, no? Tingnan nyo class, no? Pag 120 days na, very smooth na siya. Okay? Kaya nila ginagawa yung class kasi gusto nila makita talaga yung trend. very smooth, di ba? Kita mo talaga yung trend ng ano ng price ng data, ng ano, ng movement ng data. Okay. Is that clear, class? I hope na clarify kayo dun sa ano SMA. Ano yung difference ng SMA 5, SMA 10, saan siya ginagamit? SMA 5 class, mas yung pag lesser yung base class, mas ano yan, mas parang malapit siya dun sa ano sa original. Okay? Kasi kunyari kung one day lang, ang ginagawa lang niyan yung ano lang, 'di ba? Yung average lang ng ano ng SMA, wala pa nang hindi pa pwede SMA 1. SMA 2 at least, no? Average lang ng kahapon at saka ngayon. So medyo it will be very close to the original. Pero pag 120 days na class, malaki na 'yon, 'di ba? Okay? All right. So again, class, I hope I'm making myself clear. Paki-chat naman, class, please, kung naiintindihan so far yung SMA at saka yung purpose niya. Sabi natin, ginagamit si SMA in order to predict kung magkaka-up, ano pa, going up in prices or going down. Nobody's answering? I hope, class, clear yung SMA, no? Okay, thank you so much. So let's continue. Sana makahabol tayo dun sa kabilang section. Okay. Now, here, okay, there's another way to do this, class, yung SMA. Ito din. I'll not run this. I-run nyo na lang, no? Roll mean. Pareho lang yan, class. Rolling mean. Okay, it's the same. You'll get the same answer with rolling mean. It's the same as SMA. Okay, so what do we do now, class? I-merge natin, isama na natin, class, si ano? Isama na natin si SMA short. Okay, kasi SMA short, class, okay, we're creating this object called SMA short. Isasama natin siya kay data forfeits, no? And then, yung core data, i-match natin dun sa index ni final XTS, class. Okay, I hope you got this, class. So, kasi meron tayong, ano, di ba, si SMA short. Saan nanggaling yan? Kay merge prices. Kinuha natin yung SMA ni merge prices. Si merge prices, class, XTS. Therefore, si SMA short, XTS din yan. Kaya nga natin nilagay na XTS, di ba? Okay? So, kukunin natin, class, isasama natin kay data forfeits. Ito, di ba, yung object na ginagawa natin, class, ng ano, inaan natin yung features. Yung features, kasi pinagsasama-sama natin. Tapos, imamatch natin yung dates ni SMA short dun sa yung sa index ni ano ni final XTS. Okay? Imamatch natin sila. So dapat magkapareho sila. Same thing, class, din dito kay ano kay long. So if I run this, class, what will happen now? Let's take a look at tanggalin ko na to si Fritz. Tanggalin ko na to. Just remove some, class. Asa na si ano? I need si ano. Okay. Asa na si data forfeits? Where's data forfeits? Wala. Okay, dito na lang. Data forfeits. Ito, class, no? Tingnan nyo, naging 10 variables na. Kanina, 8 lang yan, di ba? Nadagdagan na ng, kanina, 5 lang yan, di ba? Tapos nadagdagan ng yung lag na 3. Tapos nadagdagan, class, ng, yan, tingnan nyo, class. SMA short, yung pang-5, class. SMA short, SMA 5, di ba? Yung pang-5 ang papalitan. No? Okay? Tapos rolling siya. Ito naman, pinakita natin yung next 5, next 5, next 5. Ganun din to class. First 10, next 10, next 10, next 10. Alright? So we're now building itong data for fits natin. No? Meron na tayong log. Meron na tayong tatlong log, no? Log 1, log 2, log 3. Meron na rin tayong SMA. Okay? So what's next, class? Let's take a look at our data. What's next? Okay. Next naman, class, is RSI, no? Relative Strength Index. This is in order to see yung momentum. No? May konting explanation ako dito, class. RSI, momentum oscillator yan. It measures the speed and change of price movements on a scale of 0 to 100. Kaya index sa class, no? Index. So, understand kapag index, may minimum at saka may maximum. Usually 0 to 100. Okay? So, ang relative strength index, class, no? Kapag RSI falls above 70, it indicates na overbought yung asset. Okay, ano kung overbought? Pag overbought, class, that could be a signal for reversal. Okay, reversal. On the other hand, class, 30, pag less than 30, class, oversold yung asset. So potential na reversal up. Okay? And lastly, class, kapag approximately equal to 50, neutral lang yun, no? Neither going up or going down. Now, para saan class yung RSI? Kanina, di ba si log class, ginagamit natin yan as an autoregressive predictors. Kasi there's this body of knowledge, class, na nagsasabi na you can create a model, a regression model, to predict your data using its past values. Yung pangalawa naman, si SMA, ginagamit natin yung prices ng asset, but ina-average natin ang ginamit natin SMA 5 at saka SMA 10. Itong RSI naman, plus, okay, bakit siya pinipili? It identifies momentum extremes. So, makakatulong sa atin na maka-predict natin kung may mean reversion. Okay, ibig sabihin, for example, yung sinabi ko natin kanina, if the RSI is greater than 70, then ibig sabihin nun, overbought siya. So, may possibility na may mean reversion siya. No? Ibig sabihin, bababa. No? Okay. How it works, high RSI might signal a sell. Okay? Kasi overbought ka, no? So malamang yan, ang prediction yan, bababa na yung no? So, benta. Bago bumaba, benta. On the other hand naman, a low RSI means a buy. Bakit? Kasi siguro tumama na siya sa pinakababa niya. So, ang tendency niyan, reversal ulit, aakyat na yung price. So, maganda, i-catch mo yung asset at its low, one of its lows, no? Diba? So, paakyat, at least makaka-ride on ka dun sa wave ng pataas yung value ng asset natin. Kaya ang standard na ginagamit, 14 days. Okay, this RSI was developed by these two, Wells and Wilder. All right. So, gamitin natin ulit. Let's create this object, RSI XTS. XTS tayo, class, kasi ang data natin ng pinanggagalingan ng prices Okay, yung USD price, no? Tapos, may TTR function na RSI, Relative Strength Index. You just have to identify, ano yung RSI is equal to 10, class? Paki-chat nga please, ilan siya? How many, class? RSI is equal to yung N natin. RSI underscore N. Ilan yan, class? Come on, please. Ang tagal. Okay, 14 yan, class. 14. No? Kaya sinabi ko nga dito standard siya. Okay, let's run this, class. Let's run RSI, control enter. Yan. So what's inside? No? RSI and hindi 2214, no? Okay. Just to be sure class, no? Para kasi baka naguluhan kayo dun eh. Ito yung sabi natin na ano na it's good practice to separate yung mga values nyo. Ayan, no? RSIN, yun. 14, okay? Standard period. 300 plus. Okay. We're here, 300 plus. So RSI na tayo class, no? RSI. So we run this already, no? I hope you run this already. So tingnan mo natin kung ano yung laman ni RSI class. How does it look like, RSI? Which is an XTS object also. Okay, here. Okay. Take note. Ano nangyari? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yung first 14, walang values yan. And then you have this one. Okay? So ito class, 29, no? Diba? Ibig sabihin nun, ano? You'll notice that the RSI, so may 52, okay? May 66, malapit na. Ito may 70, di ba? So pag 70, na ibig sabihin nun, overbought siya, no? So pwedeng signal yan na sell. Yung mga mababa naman, yung less than 29, less than ito, 29. So signal yan na buy. So these are buying and selling trade signals. Okay? So, sige, ang ginawa na natin dito, again, inattach natin si RSI dito sa ano natin. Okay, so imamatch lang dapat yung core data ni RSI-XTS at saka yung index ni final XTS at saka RSI-XTS. What does that mean, class? Dapat, okay, dapat kung ano yung dapat magka-match, magkapareho yung ano yung dates ni RSI-XTS at saka yung final XTS natin. Okay, and then isasama yung core data. Core data is a data, di ba? Okay? So, rinan na natin to, di ba? Tapos tingnan ulit natin close ko na to. Asan na si nawawala na naman class. Si data forfeits. Ano ba yan? Asan na si data forfeits? Saan napunta yun? Nagalaw ko yata kanina ito to. I'm going to move this here. Ayaw. Ayaw. Anyway. Ayan. Tanggalin ko na to. Ayan, take a look class. RSI yan, di ba? Simula siya. Ito yung 14, di ba? Yung formula niyan class, I leave you. Simple lang na yung formula niyan. It's very easy. I leave you class to find out ano yung formula. Ang importante class sa ano, please learn then on your own ano yung mga features ng SMA, ng RSI, ano yung feature ng well, SMA pa lang naman tayo, no? SMA, okay, ito yung mga logs natin, yung first three. Ito yung SMA natin, short and long. Ito yung RSI. Okay, next. Ang susunod natin class is MACD, no? Moving average, convergence, divergence. And usually ang ginagamit dyan class yung 12-day and tsaka yung 26-day ng EMA. Okay, take note class, hindi natin ginamit yung EMA, no? EMA is exponential moving average. Pareho lang siya class ng SMA. Ang difference lang, si SMA class, equally weighted yung average, no? Pag kinuha mo yung average, kunyari yung kanina, SMA 5, divide by 5 yung bawat isa, tapos isa-sum up mo. Si EMA hindi. Si EMA class, mas bibigyan niya ng bigger weight yung mas current na values. Kunyari, mag-EMA, let's say, 30, no? 30. So i-average mo yung 30 days. Pero hindi yan hindi yan i-add mo lang siya at divide by 30, hindi. Ano siya yung may weight yung mas mataas yung weight ng mga most current values compared to dun sa mga luma na. Okay, so that's the difference between EMA and SMA. MACD class, MACD, moving average convergence divergence. It consists of the MACD line. Okay, si MACD line class, kukunin yung 26-day EMA at saka yung 12-day EMA. Tapos kukunin yung difference sila. And the signal line, 9-day EMA of the MACD line. Okay, so medyo I hope hindi masyado nakakalito yung definition class. So ano yung purpose ni MACD? It captures both trend siya at saka momentum. So combination to ng SMA at saka ng RSI, no? So it's useful for FX, okay, where trends can persist but reverse on signals. Widely used in machine learning for time series because it combines both short and long EMAs to direct crossovers and divergences. Okay, paano ginagamit? So, i-compare mo si MACD line dun sa signal. Tapos, predict positive return, bullish crossover. Pag negative class, okay, pag negative, then bearish. Alright? So, sige, run na natin to. Ito yung code class, MACD class, coming from merge prices again, USD, PHP. You have to identify ano yung N fast. Nasa taas to MACD fast. Ano yung N slow? MACD slow. Ano yung N signal? Ito yung 9 days. No? And then MA type, moving average type, it's equal to EMA, which is the standard. Okay, i-run muna natin to class. Tingnan natin. What is your MACD list? Control Enter. Tapos i-check natin si MACD list. Here. Tingnan nyo class. Ayan. Look at this. May MACD class at saka may MACD signal. Okay, we'll not go into, I'll leave you class to look at how it is computed. Simple lang naman siya class, no? Difference lang naman yan ng EMAs. Tapos, isama na natin, no? Sama na natin class sa, ano natin, hindi pa. So, magkakreate tayo ng MACD XTS, okay, which is the XTS of your MACD list. Index natin yung merge, yung dates ng merge prices natin. Okay? Tapos palitan natin yung column name ni MACD, XCS, gawin natin MACD line at saka MACD signal. Remember class, dalawa yon, no? MACD line at saka MACD signal. So let's run this class. Okay, so may MACD XCS na tayo dito. Ayan. MACD line, MACD XCS. Okay, so pinareho na to dun sa dates ng ng merged prices. And then tinalan natin to class, no? Okay, ang MACD fast natin 12, ang MACD slow is 26, ang signal natin is 9. Para hindi ko na kayo pinahanap dun sa taas. All right, and then just like before, we're going to append it to data for fix na $MACD. Ibig sabihin, i-create na to. Okay, yung dalawa, MACD line at saka MACD signal. Okay, so if you run this class, okay, and then, oops, ano nangyari? Wait lang ha. Meron ba akong hindi ko yata ito na run. Okay. Ayan, sorry. Ay. Error in RS. Why? Sa inyo class nag-run ba? Wala, nag-run naman siya, no? Nag-run siya. Nag-error lang, nag-signal lang siya ng ano. Okay? May MACD line na tayo dito. Okay, so it's almost time, class, no? So next meeting, ano pala, ire-record ko to, itong Bollinger Bands, tapos itong ADX. Let's just take a look at what will happen. Okay, rolling volatility. Okay. Tapos maglalagay tayo ng ano ng exogenous features, si VIX at saka si Brent, no? Isasama natin sila, and then lahat ng mga rows tatanggalin natin, mga NA rows. Hindi tayo pwedeng mag-machine learning kung may mga missing values diyan, no? Then we create, so lahat ng mga NAs tatanggalin natin sa ano. Okay, and then titingnan natin, class, yung mga key features natin, no? Kung ano yung mga laman ng ano natin ng data for fits. Tapos ito na, magma-machine learning tayo dito, class, sa step 3. Naalala niyo yung training and testing? Okay, so meron tayong data for fits, train and test natin siya dyan, no? Iba yung pag-splitting ng training and testing pag time series, class. Kasi hindi pwedeng random yan eh. Kasi may temporal order ang time series. Hindi natin pwedeng yung unahin yung 2023 tapos 2015, hindi pwedeng ganun. Okay? So this is what I'm going to discuss dun sa recording. Okay? Para tapos andito na iba't ibang klaseng machine learning. Okay, so thank you so much, class. With that, any questions? I hope you learned something. Medyo naging challenging na yung natin, yung machine learning. Sa thesis class, ganito. Talagang medyo, next time, ikukwento ko sa inyo yung siyempre hindi ko sasabihin kung sino, yung mga challenges dun kasi nag-panel ako dun sa defense ng thesis. Karaming gumagamit machine learning na. Okay, thank you so much, class, and ko muna yung recording.